I look intelligent?
Yeah, it's how you sound. Right, we're ready to go. Do we think we're alright?
I'm just banging you.
What you done that for? Trying to do a YouTube video here? Right, okay, away we go. Hello and welcome to our channel. Do you want me to start again?
If you want.
Hello, welcome back to our channel. Today it's me, David.
And me, Donetta.
Both of us. That's 4 people. Both of us together in one video. Madness.
Crazy.
Today we're talking about the first trimester, because if you didn't already know,
We're having a baby.
we are.
We will link that video below.
Yes, we bloody will. And it'll be on end card, the pregnancy announcement video. Oh, it was mega. I loved it. So we're pregnant. Lots of pregnancy videos coming up. Pregnancy, baby, anything and everything you can think of relating to a pregnancy journey, we're bringing to you. Here's our experience of the first trimester. Take it away, Donetta.
Well, we found out when I was 4 weeks and 6 days pregnant. It was actually on your dad's birthday, wasn't it?
My dad's birthday, yeah.
The day after we found out, I started getting symptoms straight away. Whether I did that subconsciously, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whether it kind of triggered because I knew.
Now you know you're pregnant, all of a sudden you can't do nothing and you feel sick.
Go away. Yeah, I don't know, but it was around obviously the 5 week time, so it is the prime time anyway to start getting symptoms. It gradually then kind of got worse.
Not gradually, it was like very, very quickly.
Yeah, well, I'd say, like, obviously the day after we found out, that's when I started getting symptoms, but we still, like, we had Halloween and there were a few days after there where as long as I were eating and stuff, I were managing it, but it slowly started to get worse. Kind of
within a week,
yeah,
all of a sudden you couldn't get out of bed anymore.
No, it
was a bit more than, like, people have been saying, like, oh, morning sickness. And if you've been following us as well, particularly over on Instagram, you'll notice our Instagram, YouTube, everything stopped, slowed down and then stopped.
Yeah.
And then I was saying, like, oh, Donetta's quite ill and stuff, and people were just like, oh, I hope she gets better soon and what have you. And then now we're at pregnancy, they're like, oh, do you remember when Donetta was ill? Was it morning sickness? It were a bit more than morning sickness.
Yeah.
What's it called?
HG, hyperemesis. And I can't say the last word. I should have written.
Hyperemesis,
yeah.
Sick as fuck. That's what it was.
But
it
yeah,
was horrible.
It were awful. So yeah, gradually it got where I just couldn't keep anything down. I couldn't keep food down, drink down. So I ended up making a doctor's appointment. Went to the doctors. When I got there, my pulse was, I think it was like 120 beats per minute, which is crazy. I could feel it constantly, like pulsing out my chest.
And at this point, were we 6 weeks?
Yeah, around 6 weeks.
Just to give, because obviously we're conscious that a lot of you might have been through this before, you might have been through pregnancy before, you might be watching as a new parent and what to expect and stuff. So we found out at 5 weeks, then that week that we've just spoke about, Donetta gradually got worse and worse, and by 6 weeks, you went into the doctors, didn't you?
Yeah, we did want to deal with this week by week updates, but obviously because I got that ill, there were absolutely no chance we could do that. So now we're just kind of recapping, and then from now we'll kind of do weekly updates. So it was just one big blur, to be fair. It was just one big sickness blur. So I went to the doctors, and then they checked my urine, and there were ketones in my urine, and she said it was as high as they can be on this dipstick test thing. So she put me on some medication, sickness medication, and she said if this didn't work within 48 hours max, I needed to go to hospital.
Put on drips on and stuff.
Yeah, because she said, I think she was like, really, I wanted you there now, but the hospital always say try sickness medication first to see if it works, but if it didn't, I needed to go straight in. So
it was a bit more than morning sickness.
Yeah, it were awful. I couldn't walk more than a couple of steps without nearly fainting, it were awful. I was just so weak. Well, all in all, I lost 1 stone in weight within the space of a week. It was rapid, wasn't it? It was ridiculous. So a couple of days went by, I tried these tablets, wasn't working, were they really? No. So I rang the doctors up again. There were absolutely no chance I could have got into the doctors at that point. I was just that bad. And luckily I've got some really understanding doctors. There's a lot of people with this condition that just have not got understanding doctors, nurses, people around them at all. And he tried me on a different medication, to cut a long story short. A different medication. You went and got it straight away, didn't you?
I did.
And them combined slowly started, didn't they? Because I had one really bad night and I was like, I'm going to have to go into hospital if this done.
We were so close. We were literally a couple of hours, like if it wouldn't have been middle at night and it had been morning, we'd have been going into hospital.
Yeah, that one night was the worst night ever. I couldn't keep, the tablets were making my mouth so dry and I was so thirsty, but then I was drinking too fast and I know I shouldn't have been, but I couldn't help it. And then as soon as it were in my stomach, it was coming out in all sorts of different colours.
We should have done a disclaimer, like, don't watch this while you're eating your tea.
Yeah, but you got to be real, haven't you? You got to see what it was. But it were all, like, to say I were only drinking water down, I don't know what were coming up. It weren't nice. I'd obviously pulled something. There were blood and all, so it were awful. It wasn't nice.
So the first month from finding out, so 5 weeks to about 9-10 weeks, was basically managing Donetta being very ill, a couple of trips to the doctors, but we managed to get it under control with 2 lots of different medication, was it?
Yeah, and slowly, because I thought as soon as this medication would start making me not feel sick, I just thought, oh, I'll start feeling better, but it took so long to build myself back up again, because obviously losing a stone that rapidly, I was so weak.
It's like there's other effects on your body as well, like being lethargic, weak, all that type of stuff. Because you've not been eating.
No, exactly. And then I started getting where, like, I started fancying a bit of food, and it just gradually worked up from them. But there is certain smells and things that are just make, even now, even if I say, like...
And we should tell you, at the point of recording this, we're bang on 14 weeks, 14 weeks today.
Yeah, but I've not drank, like, I've always drank coffee in the morning, and I can't even think about it or talk about it or say it because, oh God, it's just disgusting. And the fridge. And every time I feel sick, I always think about coffee in the fridge.
So basically from weeks 5 to 14, so the whole time that we've known, you've just been managing this awful, terrible, being sick, feeling sick, obviously having no energy, a lot less energy than normal, and all that type of stuff. What I've been doing is having to eat microwave meals and wash the pots like every single day, like on my own. Usually it's like more of a 50-50 thing. Alright, maybe not the cooking, you do all of that, but I've been having to do that. I've been having to wash all the pots.
Yeah, the kitchen's been a no-go. Even now I find it hard to go because all the smells going on in the kitchen, I just can't handle.
And it's difficult for us men to know that that's true, and you're not just trying to get out of doing the pots. Obviously I'm just having a laugh, I'm kidding, I don't mind doing that. I think what I'm going to do as well in my, if you've seen over on the blog on David and Donetta, and there's going to be another playlist which won't be up by the time this video's up, but it'll be up very soon. I'm going to be doing my own David the Dad live reaction to different things, because I've been documenting things as it's happened, so I go quite in depth to how I was feeling and like the effects on the rest of the family as well, while Donetta was obviously like completely bedridden for several weeks and stuff. And it's a bit more of a live reaction, what I'm thinking and feeling as it happens. I'm gonna put videos to that as well, so we'll be able to get obviously different perspectives. So if you're a dad watching this, there is going to be like a more dad specific journey of this pregnancy, as well as the together one and the mum stuff.
But yeah, I don't know if to do another video on HG just separately, because it is such a, I don't want to do it because it's awful, but there's not enough awareness about it at all, and people don't understand it. So
video coming soon on sick and blood and stuff.
Well, also it just made me just not give a crap about anything at all. Like I said to you, didn't I? Like,
yeah, you did.
I don't care about anything. Like it took my whole personality away. It took everything. I didn't care. Like he'd be talking to me about anything, and all I could think about was just this next half an hour, 15 minutes, not being sick, like what I could smell like.
I didn't even notice when I was talking to you and you're like, I don't give a shit. I'm thinking, there's nothing new there then. I didn't realise that were a symptom.
But it does. It just takes everything away. You don't care about anything at all. Well, I didn't anyway.
So after that initial period of it being very sick, like, you know, Donetta being sick, then me like basically solo parenting the other 3 kids that we've still got, the household and all that type of stuff. So we're both kind of like, obviously I'm thinking, no, she's poorly, she's feeling poorly, we've still got life to contend with. We still had, just typically, it was the run up to Christmas, and we had quite a few work engagements. So you'll notice like the videos that we've done previous to this, it's all David going off to these meetings and stuff. It was all because Donetta was obviously far too ill to leave the house. But once we got over all this illness bit, and Donetta's now starting to feel better these last I'd say last 3 or 4 weeks, you've not been doing too bad, and you've gradually got better and better. We're now at 14 weeks. Other things that have happened beside the bad illness, horrible sicky stuff, is this.
At 10 weeks, we had our first midwife appointment.
Yes.
Like the booking in type appointment, where they take your blood pressure, take your blood.
Actually, what colour pants you've got on.
Yeah, oh my God.
Like,
they go into
some
so
questions.
much. It's crazy. But yeah, when I'd gone there, they weighed me, and I'd put on, I think I'd only put on £3 from losing a stone. I thought I'd have put on more, but I didn't. I'd only put on £3, but it's better than nothing, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a move in the right direction.
Yeah, and they also said there that I needed to be like half consultant-led care as well, which I've never been before. So this is something new to us. I've never been consultant-led, but it's because now like they've changed all the procedures and things, and if you have babies that have got a lower birth weight, then they automatically...
Is this something it's split into centiles?
Yeah.
And if your baby's in certain centiles, like on the smaller side, and 2 out of the 3 children that we have...
But they weren't that small.
They weren't that small, but they've been on the smaller side. We now this consultant led. It basically just means we have a couple of extra scans.
We might have if they decide to.
They just keep a closer eye, so it's nothing to worry about or anything like that. It's just, if anything, I think it's quite good because you'll get maybe an extra appointment, an extra scan, and I'm all game for that. As many checks as possible throughout pregnancy, I'm game with, because anything can obviously go wrong at any stage, so the more checks, the better for me.
So yeah, when we'd gone to the midwife, and because it was that close to Christmas, the midwife did say she didn't know if we could get our 12-week scan like before Christmas, even though on Christmas Day I would have been, what I thought I would have been 13 weeks.
By our calculations, going on the date, is it the last day, last period, or like what you usually do?
Last period, yeah. That. So we were like, oh no, because we just wanted to tell everybody. I mean, we'd had to tell family, close family and the kids beforehand, purely because of how sick I was. There were no way we could get away from that, but we wanted to tell everybody else as soon as we could. We'd had enough, haven't we, of keeping it a secret.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted to tell everybody.
Yeah.
I've literally written about 11 blog posts all about it, and sat there thinking, everyone thinks I've done one in the blogging world. They're like, well, where are David and Donetta? There are no blogs coming out. I'm like, there's bloody loads. I've written more than ever, and we just couldn't release it. We really wanted to tell people.
Yeah, so she just said there were no guarantees. Obviously, they're busy up and around Christmas, so we just get a letter through the post. And about a week later, we did, and it was for Christmas Eve, which was really, really good. So
our Christmas Eve 2018 will be a day to remember forever. It was fantastic, weren't it?
Yeah, 8:30 in the morning as well.
Yeah, bang on. And we're people that I want to be up, out, get it done. I wouldn't have been like waiting around till 2 in the afternoon and stuff. I'd be pulling my hair out. But luckily we got the 12-week scan on Christmas Eve, and when we went for the 12-week scan,
we thought we was 12-week and 6 days.
Yeah, and it turns out when they do their measurements and what have you, they've then said that we were 13 weeks and 3 days.
Yeah, so they pushed us forward like a few days, which is great.
And today's the 28th, Friday the 28th of December, and we're bang on 14 weeks today. Yeah,
so my change of a day now into a different week is a Friday, where it was the Tuesday before. So.
And we went in, the scan was all okay, not a problem, and just everything you could hope for, really. We managed to take Corbin in as well. And although Corbin's very much like, I'm not bothered about doing anything kind of thing. He's just like, meh, unless it's Imaginext or Batman, I'm not interested. Yeah. But we managed to, obviously he had to come with us. He went in and he was looking at the baby scan on the big monitor and stuff, and he's like, oh, it's doing this, moving its arms and stuff. Luckily, baby in there were playing up to the camera a little bit, so born vlogger straight away. Like moving its legs and it's just mental to think like we've gone from 29th of October finding out that we're pregnant, not quite believing it or knowing what the hell's going on, then Donetta getting really, really ill, this ketones thing happening, then having to tell family and friends, not necessarily because we wanted to, but because we felt we had to, because Donetta was so ill, it was almost like we might need some support at the drop of a hat for hospital visits, things like that. So that's quite how severe it got. So then it took the shine off of that a little bit for us, didn't it? Being able to surprise people and tell people in a bit of a better mood kind of thing. And then getting the 10-week thing was alright. It was just quite intuitive. Not our midwife's fantastic, by the way, but tons of questions, just like millions of questions about stuff they didn't even think were relevant. And then getting to that scan, that I just so wanted to get to that scan, to just know that all the checks are done, everything's okay. And that's when it really felt real for us. And obviously that was only like 4 days ago from today recording this video. And now it's all out there. We've done our pregnancy announcement video on YouTube, and spoke to loads of different people, loads of people happy for us and stuff, which is fantastic. And it's just been a real, like, now feels like the only time, with Christmas mixed in as well, like Christmas for the other kids, because we've got other kids to look after in normal life and what have you while all this is going on. It just feels like now is the first time I can kind of go, oh, right, let's get on with having a bit. Let's get on with enjoying being pregnant. That's what it feels like to me. What about you?
Yeah, it's definitely, it's a lot better now. I feel a lot better. And yeah, it does feel a lot more real, because before I was just so much focused on, well, I was just feeling that ill. I couldn't even think about being pregnant, if I'm honest. It weren't, that weren't on my mind at all. It was just, I needed to get through, like I said, just that few hours at a time. So yeah, it's definitely a lot better now, and I've still got, like, I'll be doing updates now, so I'll tell you how I've been feeling in a 14-week update at some point. But yeah, just so much better.
So that is basically the story and the review and a look back at the first trimester of pregnancy.
I've probably missed loads out, you know, like loads of little symptoms, like, because you watch these vloggers that do it like weekly, and they kind of, obviously there's the tiredness, there's this and there's that, like there's been loads of other symptoms like bloating, but it weren't, I didn't care. you know, it was like
and because you were so ill and stuff, we weren't able to then like kind of pick the camera up, do videos and stuff like that, which is what we wanted to do, and is what we will be doing from now. So this is the first trimester review, update, look back on, whatever you want to call it. I'll probably title the video later. And that's that. There'll be a second trimester at the end of the second trimester, but up until then, we're going to be bringing you weekly updates on the bun in the oven. And loads more other videos coming as well. Like I said, there's going to be my live reaction, which is going to be happening. I'm going to create some videos to go along with a load of the blog posts, and I'm going to continue documenting throughout the entire pregnancy. So it's a bit more like this video where it's been a bit scatty because we can't really remember. But we're hoping moving forward, obviously we'll be able to give you updates as things are happening. We're going to be talking like baby names. We're going to be talking myths on this, that and the other, just loads of stuff. We're probably actually going to do another video updating people on exactly what to expect from our channel in 2019.
If there's anything that you want to see, just let us know, like any kind of videos that you want us to do.
Get in them comments. We're up for anything at all, baby pregnancy related. Let us know, we'll create a video about it. If there's any information that you want to find out, any questions you want us to ask while we're going through it, if you're not at this stage just yet, or if you're further on, tell us how you're getting on. So if you want to follow our baby journey, or you want to follow our daily vlogs, or you want to follow my live reactions, or you want to follow anything else that we're doing, then we'll be here on YouTube. Subscribe, press the bell notification, and you'll get a notification every time we release a new video, which we're hoping is going to be very, very, very frequently. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Goodbye. Look intelligent.
Yeah, it's how you sound. Right, we're ready to go. Do we think we're alright?
I'll just bang my knee.